Welcome. I'm starting over again here. This is Brad Bodis. I'm with the Bond and Bodis Law Offices, and this is our first of what will be weekly Facebook Live presentations at 1 o'clock Central Time on Wednesday for an indefinite period of time. We're going to do this at a minimum for the period while people are home and facing the financial questions and anxiety that this COVID-19 pandemic has brought on. I want to be clear at the outset here. We are not here to get new clients. I'm not here to sell my law firm. We're here really just to answer questions and to provide information. I've been doing legal work as a bankruptcy attorney, but helping people with financial issues now for over 30 years. Doesn't seem like that long, but I have, and I know what money problems can do to you personally, and I know what they can do to a marriage. You need to gather all the information you can, and that's what these videos will be for. Feel free to pose questions. I'll try to respond to them here during this presentation. You're also welcome to private message me here. Make a note. You can send an email to info, at bond, B-O-N-D, and A-N-D, Botes, B-O-T-E-S.com. Or, of course, if you want to call, our toll-free number is 877-581-3396. So let's start here at the beginning. Even though a lot of us are at home right now and working remotely, all of the Bond and Bodis law offices in Tennessee, in Mississippi, and Alabama are seeing clients, are here to answer questions. We're simply doing either video or phone consultations. And we'll be doing those for the indefinite future, but we're here and we're available, and we want to make sure that if you have questions, we address them for you. Today, I'm going to try to focus on three specific areas, and these subjects are really based upon the questions we've been getting. We're going to talk about unemployment benefits. If you are without work right now, what your rights are, how you apply for unemployment benefits. We're going to talk about stimulus checks and who's entitled to stimulus checks, when you should be receiving them, and how to use that money. And then we're just going to be talking about how to deal with the anxiety. You don't have money to pay all your bills now. How do you deal with that, and what bills do you pay? So, unemployment. I realize that people will be watching this presentation from not just here in Alabama. I'm in Birmingham, Alabama today, but from each of the areas in which we help clients. I can tell you that from my research in every state, it's the same as here in Alabama. You need to go to the Department of Labor in the state in which you live. Here in Alabama, you go to the Alabama Department of Labor and you apply for your unemployment compensation benefits. If you've lost your job due to the current situation, then you should be entitled to unemployment benefits. And not only for the typical period of time that unemployment would last in your state, but there will be an additional period during which you can collect unemployment benefits that's provided by the legislation passed by Congress and will be facilitated by the federal government. So be in touch, if you haven't done so already, with the Department of Labor in the state that you're in. Make sure you get your application for unemployment benefits in. Be patient. Realize that people you're going to be dealing with on the phone are overwhelmed with calls right now, and I know they're doing their best to deal with their own stress and anxiety in addition to helping you and other people calling. So be patient, but be diligent, be proactive. Anxiety and stress sets in when you just don't do anything and you don't take affirmative action. Now is the time to be proactive. Reach out, ask for help, be patient, but be assertive and get the benefits that you're entitled to. Next, that there are a lot of questions about, of course, the checks that are going to be going out from the government beginning this week. It's my understanding, as a matter of fact, that a number of people have already received their checks, those that will get the money through a direct deposit. The paper checks have been delayed just a little bit, but checks are going out beginning this week. And if you're entitled to the benefits, then you'll have those in the immediate future. So be persistent. Now, there are a number of questions about those checks, the stimulus checks, and who all is going to be entitled to the checks. My understanding, whether or not you filed or required to file tax returns, you will be receiving your stimulus checks, and they should be here within the next, if not already, within the next week or so. Again, paper checks will be delayed a little bit. Those of you that get tax refunds every year that know that there are certain situations in which your tax refunds can be offset. For instance, if you're behind on student loans or certain other debts to the government. Student loan should not keep you from getting your check, your stimulus check, just because you're behind on student loans. Most student loan collections have been suspended during this time, at least the government guaranteed type student loans. The one thing that will, and the people that can intercept these stimulus checks, from my understanding, are if you're behind on child support. If you're behind on child support, your stimulus check may indeed be offset. So be aware of that. And if husband and wife typically file jointly and just one party gets a stimulus check, or if both parties would normally be entitled to stimulus checks and one owes back child support, I think there's a risk there too that perhaps both could be subject to offset. The government is going to be persistent in pushing to offset if you do owe back child support. Those of you that will be getting the money by direct deposit, again, you should be looking at your accounts now, and the money should be hitting very soon. So you can keep, if you have access to your account online, watch for a large deposit. Should be coming in very soon. Understand that even if you don't file taxes and you receive Social Security benefits, you should still get a stimulus check. Retired people are entitled to stimulus checks as long as you don't have income of, I believe it's over $99,000 for an individual, or somewhere right around there. But yes, even retired people and people that are collecting Social Security benefits are entitled to these stimulus benefits. If you are a small business owner, if you have people on payroll and you're trying to keep your business going, you should certainly look for the Payroll Protection Program, or PPP loans. Many small businesses have applied for those loans. They are referred to as loans, and they are administered by the Small Business Administration. But if you use the money for one of the allowed purposes, primarily payroll and rent, there are specifics. You'll need to consult with your local lender. And again, you do not go to the SBA, even though it's an SBA loan. You go to your local bank that's handling these type loans. The money that you receive should be fully forgivable as long as you use it for one of the intended purposes. Again, the intent here is so that you'll keep your employees on and that they won't be collecting unemployment benefits. But again, if you're an employee and you have been laid off, you are entitled to unemployment benefits if you've lost your job as a result of the COVID pandemic. So we've covered unemployment. We've covered the government money that's available, both through the stimulus checks and the payroll protection program loans for small employers. We're certainly available to answer questions. And again, I want to repeat for people that are just joining in, my name is Brad Bodis, and I'm with the Bond and Bodis Law Offices. You can message us here on this chat, or you can send us an email. Send it to info, at bond, B-O-N-D, and A-N-D, Bodis, B-O-T-E-S.com. Or you can call us. Call us toll free from anywhere at 877-581-3396. Now, I do want to touch upon what you do with the little bit of money you have right now, which bills you should be paying. If you don't have enough money to pay all your bills, then be particular about those that you pay. You want to make sure that you protect your car. If you're making a car payment, it's important to keep your car payment current, or as close to current as possible. My experience is that most lenders will not seek to repossess a vehicle unless you're a good 3 payments behind. But think about it. If you lose your car, that's going to have an immediate impact on you. You can't get out to get to the grocery store. If you do have work, you won't be able to get to work. So one of the first bills you should pay is your car payment. Mortgages. We've heard a lot about mortgage companies suspending mortgage payments. Certain government-type mortgages, payments have been suspended. But unless you have specific information from your mortgage lender, then you need to make sure you're making your mortgage payment. If you get behind, there are ways that we can help you down the line, and we'll talk about that. But don't just take it for granted that you don't need to make a mortgage payment right now. Communicate, call, talk to somebody with your mortgage company. What I've been told is that a lot of mortgage companies are saying, well, we won't require you to make a mortgage payment for the next 3 months, but at the end of 3 months, you've got to catch up everything all at once, and that's going to be tough. But whatever, and again, be proactive. Call, talk to your mortgage servicer, whatever you're told, confirm it. It's hard to prove that you had a phone conversation with somebody at the other end of a toll-free number. So if you talk to somebody and they say you don't need to worry about making your mortgage payment this month or next month or whatever you're told, get the name of the person you talked to. Make a record of the phone number that you called, the day and the time you called. Maintain as much information as possible. You should also, if you can, send a letter to the mortgage company confirming what you were told. Send it certified mail. Get one of those green cards so that you can get proof that they received it and say, this is just to confirm. I spoke to Pete when I dialed 1-800, whatever the number may be, at 3:15 p.m. on April 17th, and he told me that I could skip 2 months mortgage payments. Keep a record of it. So car payments, mortgage payments, if you don't have enough money to pay all your bills right now, unsecured, general unsecured type debt, credit cards, unsecured loans, those are the ones you probably can put off safely for a period of time. Now, what are your options if things start to pile up? And again, I want to emphasize, I'm here for the Bond and Bodis Law Offices, but now is perhaps not the time to file bankruptcy, but you need to know what your options are. There are different types of bankruptcy, and for a moment now, I'm just going to act as if you're somebody that's coming to me to seek solutions as to how to deal with your debt issues. I'm a bankruptcy attorney. I make a living by filing bankruptcies for people. And my wife tells me that I'm kind of nuts, but first thing I'm going to do if you come to see me or if we talk by phone or by video is I'm going to try to figure out how to keep you out of bankruptcy. Bankruptcy should not be your first option, but you do need to know how bankruptcy works. And if you think it may become an option in the future, be proactive. Talk to somebody now. Give us a call. We offer a free consultation, and again, we can do it all from the comfort of your home or your office right now. Call us. Again, the phone number to schedule an appointment is 877-581-3396. Call. We'll schedule you a free time just to chat with one of our attorneys at a time that's convenient with you. But the first thing we're going to do is figure out how to keep you out of bankruptcy, how to deal with your bills without filing bankruptcy. There are some good credit counseling agencies. There are some that are not so good. We always maintain a list of good credit counseling agencies that will try to help you work with your creditors if that's a possibility. Sometimes you can borrow against your home if you have sufficient equity or if somebody's willing to co-sign with you. Sometimes you can borrow and consolidate your debt. We'll look at those type options with you. There are a number of companies that advertise that tell you they'll try to keep you out of bankruptcy, and they'll tell you something like, hey, my objective here, is to keep you out of bankruptcy. You stop paying all your creditors. You've probably heard this line, I'm going to settle your debt for you. And they'll tell you to stop paying your creditors and just start paying them money. And then they're going to pile up that money and they're going to wait a few months till your creditors get a little bit nervous, and then they're going to start settling your debts for you. Be very cautious of those type operations. Number of issues. Number one, the industry is really completely, in my opinion, unregulated. Whereas if you hire an attorney, I've got to report to my state bar association. I've got to please my local bankruptcy judge. Everything I do is going to be looked at by a local bankruptcy trustee. These companies that say they'll settle your debt, there's really, in my opinion, no good regulation for those companies. And we hear stories all the time about people making payments for a long period of time and then the company and their money disappear. Or they're making payments and then they get sued nonetheless. But even if those companies do everything they say they're going to do, and they are able to say they're able to settle a $10,000 credit card bill for $2,000, what they often won't tell you is that the next thing that's going to happen is that you're going to get a tax bill, because that $8,000 that was forgiven is looked at by the IRS as taxable income. So you're going to owe taxes on it. Be cautious of those type operations. If bankruptcy is your only option, you should know that there are generally two different types of bankruptcy. Most people, when they think of bankruptcy, they think of straight bankruptcy. That's Chapter 7, referred to often as a liquidation bankruptcy. Liquidation, though, isn't really accurate because the way it works is the state you live in will have statutes that define how much property you can protect, or the legal term is exempt. For instance, in Alabama, you can protect your clothing and your jewelry, just over $7,500 of personal property, and just over $15,000 of equity in your home. The vast majority of people that file Chapter 7 bankruptcy, they don't lose anything, and they're able to discharge most of their debts. Certain types of debt that you can't get rid of in a bankruptcy, most taxes, student loans, child support, alimony, and there are other categories, but you should talk to one of our attorneys about how Chapter 7 may or may not help you. And then there are a number of different types of reorganization bankruptcy. Chapter 11, you've probably heard of large corporations filing a Chapter 11 reorganization, sometimes used by individuals or small businesses, but it's an expensive proceeding and it's not utilized often by individuals or small businesses. Chapter 12 is a special kind of reorganization for a family farmer or a fisherman. And if most of your income is through farming, or by chance, if you're a fisherman and you support your family in that manner, a Chapter 12 reorganization may be helpful. But most of our clients, if they're going to reorganize, they do what's called a Chapter 13 or a wage earner's bankruptcy. And it's a way to repay all of your bills if you want to, or part of them, but at a rate you can afford. You could come to see us shortly before a foreclosure or shortly before a repossession or facing a wage garnishment. We can file the Chapter 13 bankruptcy, stop all that from happening, help you to keep your house, keep your car, and then put together a plan for you to pay back your debt over the next 3 to 5 years. Again, I can't go into detail about that here on this video, but again, call any of the Bond and Botus law offices. You can email at info at bondandbotus.com. That's BONDANDBOTES.com. Call 877-581-3396, or of course message you here. And let's see some of the messages we're getting here. So I've got a question here, and this came into me directly, but the question is from somebody that's in a current Chapter 13 bankruptcy. So they've come to us or another attorney, and they've filed a plan of reorganization, and they're required to make monthly payments to a trustee, or perhaps payments they've arranged for to come out of their paycheck, and now they've lost their job. If you're one of these people, be in touch with us if we represent you. Be in touch with your attorney and make your attorney aware of the situation. I will tell you that bankruptcy judges, bankruptcy trustees, they're aware of what's going on right now. Typically, if your payments stopped coming in, a bankruptcy trustee might move rather quickly to dismiss your bankruptcy and take away the protection. Today, we're not seeing trustees move quite so quickly, so don't be too concerned. Don't be over anxious about that. Be in touch with your attorney. There are some things we can do to help you right now. Perhaps suspend your payments for a period of time. For some people, we'll be able to continue your plan for a period of time beyond what we originally had scheduled. But be in touch with your attorney. Don't be overly anxious about it. Another question here. Should you be using your stimulus money to file bankruptcy? You need to be using your stimulus money for bills that need to be paid right now. And if you don't have enough money to pay all your bills, again, your mortgage, your car payment, groceries for your kids, if your utility payments haven't been suspended, make sure you make your utility payments on time, so that your utilities aren't disconnected. If you do have extra money as a result of getting that stimulus check, you might want to at least talk to one of our attorneys about filing bankruptcy. I would be cautious until things have kind of gotten situated for you about filing a straight Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Wait until you know what the future holds for you. People always ask me what the biggest thing you lose is when you file a straight Chapter 7 bankruptcy. And I've been doing this a long time, and most people, they say, well, the biggest thing I lose is my credit. I don't have any credit anymore. That's not true at all. Most creditors will find a way to work with you shortly after your bankruptcy. My clients report that they get letters from car dealerships. In fact, we can put you in touch with car dealerships that contact us about working with you just after bankruptcy. You get pre-approved credit cards in the mail. The biggest thing you lose when you file a straight bankruptcy, and this is important, is you lose your right to file another bankruptcy, or at least another Chapter 7 bankruptcy, for an eight-year period of time. So with the current situation, if you're not working, if the bills are coming in and you can't pay them, now may not be the time to file a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, because the worst thing I could do for you is file a bankruptcy and then you get into more debt and I can't help you again because we can't file another bankruptcy or at least another Chapter 7 bankruptcy and get you a discharge for an 8-year period of time. So these are the type of conversations you need to have with a good, competent bankruptcy attorney. Don't put things off too long. Don't wait until you're facing foreclosure. Don't wait until you're facing a repossession or your wages are about to be garnished. Again, we offer a free consultation and we'll do it over the phone or by video. We'll do it in a way that's comfortable for you and safe for you from your home or for your office, and we'll talk you through your options. But if you come to us at the last minute, the options are going to be fewer. The more planning you can do, and again, even if you're not going to file bankruptcy, the more planning you can do to prepare yourself in case it does become necessary, the better off you're going to be. I don't want to go too long with this first Facebook Live presentation. I want to remind you of a couple things, though. Be proactive. Anxiety, stress, tension within your household, all of those things happen when you just sit back and wait. If you let things pile up on you, then it's going to be difficult. Reach out now. Talk to your mortgage company. Talk to your car lender. Confirm your conversations. Talk to your utility companies. Call us. We are here to help you. We don't charge anything at all. Your first consultation is absolutely free. It's going to be with an attorney, not with a paralegal or a secretary. You're going to have a consultation with an experienced bankruptcy attorney. And again, our first objective is to keep you out of bankruptcy if we can. You can reach us by going to our website, www.bond.botes.com. You can email us at info@bondandbotus.com or call us. Call us toll free from wherever you're located. We represent people across Mississippi, across Alabama, and in the Knoxville area up in Tennessee. You can reach us to schedule an appointment in any of our offices at 877-581-3396. We're available to help you. We'll just talk through things with you. Relax. Know we're all in this together, and we are here to help you in any way we can. I'll be here every Wednesday for the indefinite future at 1:00 p.m. doing these Facebook Live presentations. If you have questions, send them to me. We'll address them for you, and we'll do our best to help you. I wish you the best of luck, you and your family. Call us if we can help you, and God bless you. We'll see you next week. Thank you.